Hello everyone, today I want to show you how we can debug Angular application. We are using a Mac, but it's cross-platform, so you can use, since we are using a VS Code and Chrome, you have access to those two tools in both Linux, Windows, and Mac machines. So let's start. The first one that is really common and most of the developers are using, they're just gonna, if you have any Angular application, which is this one is a simple brand new Angular application, you can just say ng-serve and -o for opening the project. So basically it's going to build your Angular application, host it some local server on your local machine, and launch the application. As you can see, even if I have breakpoint here, okay, and refreshing my browser, it's not going to do anything. But you can use the Chrome developer tools, Command P, so you can navigate to app.component.ts file and hit the breakpoint here. As soon as you have this breakpoint here, if you refresh your browser, you can see that code is the breakpoint stop on that code, and you can inspect your code. This is fairly straightforward. Most of the developers are using this one, but today I want to show you the second way that you can do the debugging on the VS Code. So let's stop this code. So I'm going to use command so to stop the command. And in the VS Code, we have launch.json. Here we can just create a new entry for launch. So I'm going to name it launch application. And the type is Chrome. We want to launch in Chrome. So you can use it at Edge or Firefox. And the request is launch. And the URL. So the URL is going to tell the system after we launch the Chrome where you want to navigate. Since Angular by default it's mapped to port 4200, I'm just going to update that so it's going to work for you guys. If you're working on some project that is already configured to different port, you need to look at that port and update this. And webroot is default is correct. So command save. By having this launch setting, if I'm going to the debug and look at here, you can see I have new entry for launch app, and this is the same as this name here. So if I'm going to select that one and launch, it's going to kick the Chrome browser, try to navigate to localhost, but since this time we didn't start the Angular server, we're not going to see anything. So for having that one, we have another file here as task. Here I'm just going to create a new entry for that. I'm just going to label it. Label serve. So you can name it serve or build, whatever you like. It's so serve. I'm going to just anything is mine. I'm just going to dash app so you can see it's not some pre-built configuration from the VS Code or Angular. So we're going to name a label at that and command the command that we used previously, which is the ng-serve. We don't want to open this time because the launch will open the Chrome browser. And you can use the s as the arguments, but for sake of simplicity of this training, I'm just going to use one parse, and type of our command is shell. Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to save it. Now I can just hit the Command-Shift-P or Control-Shift-P in Windows and configure the default build task. So basically I'm going to tell VS Code which one of my tasks is the default task for build. So I'm going to select the server app, the one that I created. As you can see, it's going to add this entry to my object. And when I'm saving it, if I'm going to hit the Control-Shift-B, which is the shortcut for building the project, it's running my ng-serve. So I'm going to go back to my app component. I'm going to see that I have a breakpoint here. I'm going to hold the F5 for debugging, which is going to launch my browser. This time I can see my app is launching, which is better than last time. But on my computer, this is not going to work. I'm not gonna hit the breakpoint. As you can see, it didn't hit the breakpoint. And if I'm gonna look at the debug console, I can see. So basically, the debug console is telling me where is the problem. It says like, couldn't find the source map. Basically, Angular application is based on TypeScript, and the compiler will be transpiling it to the JavaScript files. And now the system don't know that JavaScript is mapping to which TypeScript file, so it couldn't hit my breakpoint. And if you hover over here, most probably you will be able to see there's a trouble, and you can see this information. So the problem on this part, my machine, is that I'm using a Node 19, which is not a stable version, it's a newer version, and have an issue with source mapping. Uh, uh, Basically, work around on this one. If you're using the Node 16, probably not going to have problem. But if you have this problem in the newer version, the only simple part that you can use is here on your command, is using a new argument, host equal 127.0.0.1, and command save. I'm gonna stop the debugger and my build, and I'm gonna run the new one. So Ctrl-Shift-B for building my project, and F5 for debugging. And you can see my browser is open. So basically, by just Ctrl-Shift-B and F5, I'm ready to debug my code, which is a little, I think my experience is a little more convenient and more productive. And my breakpoint hit. The other issue that sometimes it could be a problem in Mac is the command line for the Chrome usually is not running on the debug mode, or it's not pointing to a right port. You can look at your Chrome app path, and you should be able to run it on the super admin mode with remote debugging port 999 So it's going to be able to connect to the Chrome for debugging, and you will be able to debug. The reason I like the second solution is, in Angular, your command is like ngso. It's really short, but if you start using this technique for other application like Ionic that is running on capacitors, and you want to connect to the Android simulators, iOS simulators, and using different projects, you need to remember all these different commands for different projects. If you are saving all this information on the launch and task JSON files, you can just use a Ctrl-Shift build and just running some task and F5 to be able to debug your project. And then testing also is going to be more convenient, in my opinion. If you like it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the new updates on my channel. And if you are interested in anything on the web, especially on the Ionic and Angular projects, if you have any question, please let me know. If I have time, I will try to make a video of it and will be shared with you guys. See you on the next video. Bye.